Hi, my name is Maha Uwais, and today we have Fiza Chaudhri with us in the Nukta studio. Fiza is a respected name in the world of yoga, and she has inspired thousands of people through her practice. So Fiza, over to you. Let's talk about yoga and its impact on mental health.
Hi Maha, how are you?
I'm good, how are you?
Good. Yeah.
I would love for you to introduce yourself and tell us more about your practice and what got you into this.
I'm a yoga, breathwork, and a Reiki practitioner. And my yoga practice, I have been practicing for the last 20 years.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So I became a teacher 9 years ago.
Okay.
And it was my personal journey with physical pain and mental health that brought me to it. I saw it as a way of living. It's like a toolkit for me in order to navigate my life. And yeah.
That's interesting. What does the yoga practice mean to you?
Yoga is an ancient practice. It's a holistic practice of being, of living. It's essentially a way of life. It's not just one thing. It's not just postural or the physical aspect, you know. It's a complete practice. And for me, it's essentially about myself being aware of my emotional, my mental, and my physical bodies. And, you know, kind of integrating it as I move through life. Yeah, ask me more.
That's nice. People think yoga is all about flexibility. How true is that?
I mean, to an extent, of course, it's true. You know, the physical you cannot separate the physical practice of yoga from the spiritual part, right? So, to a huge extent, yoga is going to be about your physical mobility and your flexibility, I guess. But it's not just that. I would say the word to use for yoga would be more malleable, malleability, and not just the physical malleability, but also about your nervous system. So it's a lot about how yoga brings you to a malleable nervous system.
For beginners,
Yeah.
what would you say? What are the first steps that they should take towards yoga to understand it better?
Well, I mean, first of all, in order to do yoga, you must have a willingness to do it. It really depends on the person. Is yoga something that is going to be, you know, that's your way, you know? And yoga is not just, as I said before, it's not just a physical practice. It's a lot about, you know, I mean, the physical practice is essentially moving us towards kind of mental awareness and stability and taking us more, getting us more in touch with our bodies.
And I'm sure you've dealt with so many people over the last 9 years. What do you think are some of the common reasons that people hesitate to take part in yoga?
In my experience, what I find is that most people, why are they hesitant to come towards yoga? I feel like some of them are very intimidated.
Okay.
The circus of yoga, I'm going to say, it's become like a, you know, I guess Instagram and social media has made yoga a little more postural than it is. Yoga is not even supposed to be done with mirrors. And this is all we have. So imagine someone who has problems being inside their body, being safe inside their body. We don't always like the way we look.
Of course.
And you have mirrors surrounding you, and you know that the world of yoga has become all about, oh, who can do the best pose, you know, or who can stretch the most. It's going to be intimidating for them. And but yoga is not postural, and it's not a circus. It's a very private practice, you know.
Okay, that's nice. So how does yoga help calm you?
How does it help calm you? Oh God, I could talk all day about this, but we don't have all day. No, well, just to put it simply, so yoga has, you know, as you know, we live in a physical body, and it has chemical reactions. So one of the primary principles of yoga is mindful movement with breath. Okay. So we're moving with our breath into different positions or in stillness. Now, the breath is very powerful. It's a very powerful regulator of your nervous system. And when we take when we take deep inhales through our nose into our stomach and we breathe completely, the cortisol, or you know, you must be familiar with cortisol, the stress hormone, right? The levels of cortisol go down.
All right.
And you get more oxygen into your body, and it just, you know, just makes you calmer. It's a physical effect. you know. It's also a practice. It leads to other things. The physical practice itself leads to, say, sitting still, creating patience, you know, within yourself, for yourself, to be able to witness yourself in your body. How often do we just sit down and just be and do nothing? We've been completely seduced by the capitalization of everything in this world, right? So yoga is not about, you know, yoga is a way to bring us back to just being still more.
Yeah, just take a minute to pause.
Yeah, I mean, think about this, Maha. Like, how do we usually breathe in today's society? We're breathing into our chests, right? So we're like this. It's all here. When you breathe into your stomach, you are naturally going into that part of your nervous system which is responsible for rest and digest, which is the parasympathetic nervous system. And you know, nervous system is a whole thing. I mean, yoga addresses this. When we go into our parasympathetic nervous system, our body is getting the signal that we are safe.
Yeah.
But you know, living in today's society, I guess I should say modern society, is very fast-paced. It's very competitive. We're constantly running. I don't know what we're doing. Honestly, we look like we're devolving as we go along. You know, we need to slow down.
So people with trauma,
Yeah.
what would you say to them? Like, how effective is yoga for them, and what are the best practices that they can use?
Everyone has trauma.
Yeah.
You know, there's no trauma that's too big or small. Trauma is essentially not an external event. It's an internal event that happens inside our bodies. So something happens. Picture this, you're young. You see your parents fighting when you're really young. Something happens inside your body and you block it. And years later, it starts to manifest itself in your adulthood as racing thoughts, as not being able to have a stable relationship. You know, these are very real things. So that trauma, that event, that single event that you just saw your parents fighting when you were a kid has the ability to stay in your body for years, right? It gets blocked. Now, how can yoga help unlock that? Yoga is a way for us to come back to our bodies. When we return to our bodies, we start to address what has happened inside it. And when you start to witness that, you start to unblock those things that happened when you were young or whenever, you know. I use young as an example. And with someone with trauma, which is all of us, we all have trauma. For someone, I can talk about myself. For someone like me who's seen violence in her childhood, and someone who has never had any abuse, thankfully, but has had a significant amount of, like, seen the regular conflicts that you do. The way someone like me would start off would be exactly the way I did, which is a physical practice, which is movement. So I didn't dive right into meditation. I started with the movement part. And then slowly, as I built my capacity for holding myself more, I went to the meditative part. So just to put it simply for you, someone who has severe PTSD, I would post-traumatic stress disorder, I would not recommend sit down still and meditate. No. Start with movement, start with tapping, start with gentle movements that can take you into, first of all, like feeling safe within your body, and then saying, okay, now I can witness myself. Because it's a process. And nothing is far, you know, it's not going to happen overnight.
People generally have this perception that yoga is a religious practice. Is it so? Like,
no, not at all. Yoga is not religious.
all right.
Yoga is definitely spiritual, but spirituality and religion are two different things. So religion, I'm not going to get too much into religion, but I will say this, it's a set of beliefs. Set of beliefs which basically directs our cognitive map. And it is a result of programming and indoctrination, right? And then you can choose to believe in something or you don't. Spirituality is about taking responsibility, and yes, yoga too. You know, it's a way to have the ability to respond. So when you look at the words responsibility, you know, many yogis have said this, many teachers have said this as well, that it is the ability to respond, which means that we are moving more from a reactive state to a response state.
All right.
So it's about taking responsibility.
How inclusive is yoga?
Completely. I mean, it's all about inclusion.
All right.
You know, you have to have willingness and a desire and the discipline to show up. So yes, yoga is not going to be very nice to people who don't like to show up on time. No, I'm joking. That's me as a teacher. I don't like late students, but no. It's, you know, part of taking responsibility, Maha, is also about showing up for yourself.
Yeah.
Yoga is not about morality, you know, and religion tends to focus a lot on morality, right, wrong, good, bad, black, white.
Exactly.
The world is not black or white, you know, the many, many, many shades of many colors.
Yeah.
And you need to understand which one you are existing in and what you're choosing to be in. That's about it, you know.
So how do you make yoga inclusive for your students?
I joke a lot. No, I'm just myself, you know. And how do I make it inclusive? Well, good question, actually. You know, so I have, usually when I teach yoga or breath work, I'll have all levels of students in my class.
Yeah.
All shapes, all sizes, all colors. I mean, you know, sometimes different religions. So how do I make it inclusive? I will modify it. So if I'm teaching an asana or a pose or posture in yoga, I will give you 3 modifications with it.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah,
so it's accessible to everyone. You know, this is a myth that it's only for flexible people and fit people. I mean, that's just ridiculous.
Or just for women.
Not at all.
Yeah, exactly.
No,
It's equally for men.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yogis come in all shapes and sizes,
All right.
all genders,
Yeah.
all colors, all types of, yeah.
So, what would you say to somebody who's just starting their yoga journey?
In what sense though? Like who's just beginning?
Yeah,
and-
what advice would you want to give to them? What motivation?
Oh,
would you
motivation.
Want? Yeah.
I would say even when it's really tough to do it,
Yeah.
when you really don't feel like doing it, just fake it till you make it.
Yeah, that's a good one.
You gotta, my teacher used to say that to me, fake it till you make it. Dress up, show up, and you know, the rest will follow. It's gonna happen. I don't mean fake it if you're really sick. If you're really sick, if you're in pain, don't rest. But if you're just lazy, which we are most of the time, just get up, just do it.
So, Fiza, what is the deal with breath work? Everybody talks about it and how it calms you so much. Can you show me if you don't mind?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I'd love to. That's what I love to do. I love to teach and guide. So let's just dive into it.
Okay, I'm a little nervous and excited.
Yeah. So, okay, just put your feet on this thing so that they're flat and your knees together, and bring your hands on your thighs.
Okay.
And now relax your shoulders.
Okay.
Close your eyes.
I'm supposed to close my eyes?
Yes. You're going to do what I say, okay?
All right.
You're safe. I promise you're safe. Close your eyes. Keep your mouth closed and exhale all the air out from your lungs through your nose. Your shoulders are completely relaxed. Relax your jaw. And now, slowly, take a deep inhale through your nose into your stomach, into your chest, all the way up to your shoulders, and hold your breath. And now, slowly, open your mouth and exhale. Close your mouth, take a deep inhale through your nose into your stomach, into your chest, all the way up to your shoulders. Hold your breath. And now exhale through your mouth. Last time. Through your nose. Inhale into your stomach, into your chest, up to your shoulders. Hold your breath and exhale through your mouth. Keep your eyes closed. Breathe. Now slowly, whenever you're ready, open your eyes.
I feel light. I feel dizzy.
Do you?
Yeah.
Really?
I automatically feel.
Oh, no, of course.
calm.
I'm like, ooh, really? Yeah. Breath. Listen,
Oh, it really works.
Yeah, it works.
Feels like I haven't, I should do this more often.
Yeah, we should all do this more often. The thing with breath is it has the ability to heal us completely. It is very powerful.
Yeah.
And we are the masters of our system,
Yeah.
for our
We tend to
internal
forget that,
system, of our
yeah.
external realities.
Yeah.
We can be masters if we choose to be. And the breath is a very powerful tool. So when we start to use it properly, there's magic.